Right then. Closing time at the Dog and Duck. Just when a bloke's getting comfortable, they're shooing you out. The ale still does the trick. Had a few pints, just being sociable, you know. Arthur Pintwater, that's me. Never one to shirk his social duties, especially when they involve a pint. Or four. The landlord gave me the nod. Out you go, Arthur. The pavement outside greeted me with a cool, damp hug. London never sleeps, always a hum, a siren, a couple arguing over kebabs. A stroll would do me good, clear the head or at least rearrange the fog. Arthur Pintwater, star of the long walk home, decided to take the scenic route through the alleys. Home, James, and don't spare the horses. The city's night air was thick with stories, and I was just another one weaving my way home. Every step echoed with the promise of a warm bed and a strong cup of tea. Navigating by the glow of a dodgy takeaway sign past a row of wheelie bins, I spotted a surprise. A ginger cat, bold as brass, peeking out from the rubbish. Gave me a look. What are you staring at, sunshine? Not some scrawny stray. This one looked well fed. Made me stop. Well, hello there, I said. What's a nice cat like you doing in a place like this? People these days throwing out a perfectly good cat. The cat just blinked, like it was weighing up my worth. Just sat there, ruler of all it surveyed. Just blinked again, as if to say, move along, mate. I pressed on. Home was calling. And probably a strong cup of tea. The city's night had a new character now. A ginger cat, mysterious and unbothered. Either way, I kept walking, glancing back just once. The cat was still there, watching. The night stretched ahead, full of possibilities, and apparently, cats. Onwards with the urban exploration. Next alley, narrow, cobbled, walls close enough to touch both sides. Smelled of damp brick and secrets, darker here. Moonlight didn't bother. Had to feel my way, like an escape room with no clues. Halfway down, humming a tune, I saw it. The ginger cat perched on another bin. How did it get there? Cat-nav, tiny scooter, maybe a different cat, but it looked familiar. Same nonchalant stare, flicked its tail, salute or warning, hard to tell. I stopped. Oi, you following me? No reply, of course, just sat there, eyes catching the light, tiny amber headlamps, unnerving that. Coincidence, I told myself. Cats wander, they explore. Probably had a shortcut I didn't know about. Nothing to worry about, just a local showing me the sights, or silently judging my progress. I took a deep breath, tasted of old chip papers, and carried on. Tried to look casual, wasn't fooling anyone, least of all myself. Every step felt watched. The city's shadows seemed to shift, just out of sight. I kept moving, determined not to let a cat get the better of me, but the feeling lingered, like a pebble in your shoe. I glanced back. The cat was gone, or hiding, or waiting. I shook it off. Just a cat, Arthur, just a cat. Still, I picked up the pace. The night was getting stranger by the minute, and I was only halfway home. London's alleys never felt so alive. Out of the alley into a dimly lit street. Flickering streetlights buzzing like they're about to give up. Shadows everywhere, making everything look shifty, including me. I glanced over my shoulder. Nothing, just the empty street. Phew, just the drink making me jumpy. Picked up the pace, a purposeful amble, not running. Then I heard it, a soft thud behind me. My heart skipped. Probably just rubbish, I told myself, but I had to look. Curiosity, right? I turned. And there it was. Perched on a garden wall, the ginger menace, washing its paw like it hadn't a care in the world. It paused, looked straight at me, and I swear it winked. Or maybe it was a twitch, hard to tell. This was getting a bit much. Right, I said, trying to sound firm. This isn't funny anymore. The cat just tilted its head as if to say, oh, I think it is. Paranoia bubbling up now. This wasn't just any cat. This was a special agent cat, a feline spook sent to... Well, I hadn't worked that out yet, but it was definitely up to something, and I was definitely its target. I tried to shake it off. Just a cat, Arthur, just a cat, but every step felt heavier. The city seemed to close in, shadows growing longer. I kept moving, but the cat's eyes followed me, even when it wasn't there. I started to wonder if I'd ever make it home, or if I'd just keep walking, forever watched by a ginger shadow. London's nights are full of mysteries. Tonight mine had whiskers and a plan. My journey continued, a stagger really. Each alley led to another, more confusing one, like a maze designed by a drunk town planner. I was sweating now, not just from the walk or the ale. This cat was playing games, proper mind games. Suddenly, a clatter made me jump out of my skin, a bin lid rolling on the cobbles, and there, looking pleased, was my ginger tormentor. It had knocked the lid off, deliberately. Oi, you stop that! I yelled, voice cracking. The cat just yawned, mocking me. This wasn't random, it was calculated. My nerves were shot. Frayed like an old cardigan, I started looking for it. Doorways, rooftops, undercars. My obsession was growing. It wasn't just a cat anymore, it was a nemesis. A furry, four-legged agent of chaos. Every shadow seemed to hold its silhouette. Every rustle sounded like its pause. I was seeing Ginger everywhere, even in traffic lights. I was losing it, definitely losing it. But I kept going. What else could I do? London's night had turned into a game of cat and mouse, and I wasn't the cat. New plan. Arthur Pintwater was not going to be outsmarted by a moggy. I took a detour, a route so convoluted not even a GPS pigeon could follow. The city at this hour, when you're a bit refreshed, takes on a different character. Buildings lean in, street names become suggestions. Every corner promised a shortcut, but usually delivered a dead end, like being trapped in a recurring, beery dream. And guess who was the co-star? Yep, there he was, sitting on a postbox, as if he'd been waiting all along, gave his tail a swish, supreme confidence. All right, my old China, enjoying your scenic tour? I just groaned. This was beyond a joke. Supernatural, or I was going balmy. How? I whispered. No answer, just that knowing stare. I started to think this cat wasn't just following me, it was herding me, guiding me. But to where and why? My flat was in the opposite direction, or was it? My internal compass was spinning like a faulty washing machine. This cat was turning my walk home into an epic odyssey of mild peril and mounting bewilderment. I pressed on, determined to outwit my feline foe. But the city felt like it belonged to the cat now, not me. After what felt like an eternity, a familiar sight, the off-license on my corner. Closed, of course, but it meant I was close. My street, just around the corner. Relief washed over me. The thought of my armchair and a cup of tea nearly sobered me up. I quickened my pace. I risked a glance over my shoulder. Nothing. No Ginger Phantom. Ha! Lost him. Arthur Pintwater won. Demon Cat nil. I chuckled. Silly old me, getting worked up over a stray cat. Home, safe haven, I felt foolish. All that paranoia, all that dread, just a cat. I reached my garden gate, number 42, my castle, fumbled for the keys. There they were, safe and sound. Unlike my nerves, still a bit jangled. Just a few more steps. Key in the lock, one last look around, all clear, no cats. I grinned. Silly old Arthur, time for bed. The night's adventure was over, or so I thought. I stepped inside, ready to leave the night behind. But something told me the story wasn't quite finished. I closed the door, but the feeling of being watched remained. Tonight, I was just glad to be home, or so I hoped. The key scraped in the lock. Click, door open. Safety, a cat-free zone, or so I thought. I stepped over the threshold and felt it, a faint tickle at my ankles. My blood ran cold. I froze mid-step. Slowly I looked down. There it was, sitting on my doormat, the ginger cat, waiting for me, eyes glinting in the dim light. It let out a small, polite mew, not demanding, just matter of fact, as if to say, "Took you long enough, Arthur. Kettle on, is it?" I stared, jaw somewhere around my knees, all those detours, all that anxiety. And here it was, waiting, like it had a spare key, or had simply teleported. My theories about multiple cats and booze-induced visions evaporated, replaced by a single, undeniable, furry ginger fact. This was no ordinary cat. What did it want? Milk, the secret to eternal youth, the TV remote? I hadn't a clue. But one thing was certain. My quiet night in was over. The cat blinked, slow and deliberate. Then it did something truly unexpected. Stood up, stretched, and sauntered right past me into my house, as if it owned the place. Well, blimey. What now, Arthur? What now? I closed the door, the cat already making itself at home. London's night had one last surprise, and I had a new house guest. The adventure, it seemed, was just beginning, and I wasn't sure who was in charge anymore.